this is a modification I've been doing to the shoes that I use the most. If you're like me, you might notice that the inside of the heel area here and the top of it gets worn out. And the rest of the shoe is good, but this part is frayed and the padding inside of here gets worn out. These shoes are still in good condition, but if you know what I'm talking about, this whole thing gets disintegrated and worn out. And so I happen to have some scrap pieces of felt, and it's not really super thick, but it's good substantial material. There's sort of a grayish back and then sort of a brighter black surface to what I call the front. And so what I did, you can see on this pair of Merrells here, is that I have glued this felt in here. And the way I've done that is just to cut a square, a rectangle, out of the felt, and then stick it in here, and then wrap it over, just sort of eyeballing it. And then I take some scissors and just sort of trim it so it's nice and neat like this. I mean, nothing fancy, just wrap it over like this, and then you can kind of get a sense of how it's going to go. And just take some scissors and then cut these corners off like this. And in this case also, I had the opportunity to use the Loctite spray adhesive. I had never used this before. I'm used to the 3M77 contact adhesive. I saw this at Walmart and it was like $5 or something for 11 ounces. And I thought, yeah, give it a shot. And I really, really like this. I've got a full can, so I'm obviously going to use it. It is a contact adhesive, in my opinion, but repositionable. It's sort of not as aggressive in the way it cures as the 3M, but it is a contact adhesive, and I used it pretty much the same. And I did end up, for these Merrells, sort of peeling it back and repositioning it. And how I sprayed these was pretty basic. I take these, all of the insoles out before I do any of the measuring and all that stuff. And so all that stuff is out of there. And then I take the square out and I just put a piece of cardboard over my trash can. There's a front and a back. And I just, spray this part with the adhesive and let it sit outside and sort of set up a little bit like it's supposed to. And then I just sort of, I can't use both hands here obviously, but using this left hand, I just sort of get the nozzle in close and just sort of hit this part of it here, and then using both hands, of course, then I just tilt it up and then just spray the other area over here of the shoe. And I was pretty liberal in this case because this has got a pull tab on it. I just pulled this down, and I think I actually secured it with a piece of blue tape just to get it out of the way because I don't want to stick this in here. So I just tuck this down here and then tape this back a little bit. You can tape the whole shoe off if you're worried about the overspray. But once all that was done, it was all set up. And again, with the insoles out, then I put this in, having this cut and everything, then just stuck it over here, and it worked really, really good. And then I put the insoles back in and it's ready to go. And I have done this to several pairs of shoes, and it works great. And they really, this modification pretty much outlasts the soles now. I use a lot of Keens. This is my first pair of Merrells, but I do wear a lot of Keens, and once the lugs on the bottom get worn out, I just tend to replace the shoes because they're pretty good uppers. But once the lugs wear out, then I lose traction and that extra bit of cushioning for my foot. So I tend to wear those Keens out with this right here that just works every single time, and it's awesome. By the way, with these Merrells, I got to tell you, this is JB Weld to the rescue again. When I got these, just brand new, tightening these up, these eyelets, I lost probably 6. I mean, most of them on this, and a couple on the other side and the right foot, and these just popped right out. If I lose another one, I'll make a video about how to do this, but basically this came off and there's a little rivet here, and there is a female aspect to the rivet in the shoe still. So I don't use JB Weld Quick anymore. I use regular JB Weld, and then I essentially mixed up the JB Weld and it covered the rivet, ran the adhesive into the female part and then thoroughly covered the male part, and then I put it over the round end of my vise, which I covered with a sock so it wouldn't damage the inner liner of the shoe, and then just tapped it down and re-secured each rivet with just tapping on it with a little tiny hammer, and it set. And then for this JB Weld, the real stuff, I just let it sit for overnight. So far so good. I mean, once I fix these, you can kind of see a little bit of the JB Weld here. These shoes do have snow seal on them, so they're a little dark, but it's amazing what the JB Weld has done so far, and they haven't come apart. So anyway, that's sort of a bummer for these Merrells. I was kind of hoping that these would be a little bit better shoes, but I was able to fix them, and no harm, no foul, I suppose, for the $3 of materials that it took. But kind of a little disappointed that they came apart even before I wore them. But anyway, beware of these if you see this kind of eyelet, and they're from Merrell. Just know that this did happen to me, and so if you get into trouble with these eyelets and you're a little bit handy, you don't have to worry about it. You can fix them. You want to return them, fine, but I did not, because I like the design of the shoes, and what would be the point of trying to get another pair if they're just going to come apart again, because I had no confidence. But I love the style of the shoe, and I felt for the the cost of the shoe, it was definitely worth fixing, and not worth the hassle to return them because I knew how to fix them. And so far it's worked.